everyone, welcome back to Miller Music Studios. Today we're going to learn our left hand of Blues in the Attic. Okay, let's get started. So the first measure in 4/4 time, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that is a whole rest. You know, a whole rest is a rectangular rest that hangs from the fourth line up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the whole measure, resting for the left hand. Now here comes our syncopation. We have 1 and that's a staccato D. If that's a sort of difficult note for you, go ahead and write it in, because that's a ledger line D. And how are we going to find that D? Well, you've got middle C, you've got the octave C below it, you've got the octave C below that, which would be 2 lines below the staff, but it's just below 1 line below the staff. So it's this D, and we'll take it with our pinky, our finger number 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we lift right on beat 4 when the right hand plays a D when we put hands together. Now we have A flat and 2. Now that's a dotted quarter note, and that gets 1 and a half of the next beat. So you're getting 1 and the dot gets beat 2, and then you're going to play on the and of 2 and rest for 3 and 4 and, because this is a half rest. It's a rectangular rest that's sitting on the third line up. That gets 2 beats of silence. You know how a half note gets 2 beats of sound, a half rest gets 2 beats of silence. This is going to sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Looking at my hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Tricky. Okay, now we have a G staccato on beat 1. We'll take that with our 5. And then we'll go up to 1 on F. It has a tenuto, just like the right hand has. So it's going to roll forward a little bit and give it its full note value. Then you have a 2 on a G flat. That's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now F, G, G sharp, 1 on A is a staccato, and then we'll go A, D. Now what interval is A to D? If you played a D major triad, it would be D, F sharp, and A. So this is a fifth above the D. And to understand that fully, watch our musicianship track, and when I have it up and running, our theory track. Now this is played 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we played on beat 1 with the D staccato, on beat 2 we rest, and on beat 3 and 4 and we rest. Now we're on measure 7. So this is a third, A flat and middle C. First we play it with a 3/1 staccato touch, then a tenuto touch, and then we go to a fourth from G to middle C. And that is a marcato, just like the right hand is going to have. Then we rest for 2 beats, the 3 and 4 and we rest. So starting here, we've got sideways. 1 and 2 and 3. We have to lift on beat 3. And 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That will sound like G flat, B natural A, rest. Okay, so sideways, you can see the tenuto roll. 4 on the G flat, G flat. So you start with your wrist flat, you play the G flat, and then you follow through. And then 1 on B, 2 on the A, rest. counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Now we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 on G. So we have 5 on the D, and I'm going to play it for you first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Looking at my hand, 1 and, it's a 5 on D, 3 on F, 2 on F sharp, 1 on G. And it sounds and looks like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so that's the first half of the piece. I'm going to play it for you all the way through, and I'm going to count it, and it's going to be interesting because this doesn't have the melody. Now this is that 5 on low D. Okay, this is going to be fun. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1. Well, that was fun. So practice the right hand alone, the left hand alone. I'll see you at the next video where we're going to complete the left hand, and then in the following video we're going to be getting them together and working out all the details. Happy practicing. Here's your kiss.